both agree that it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think we can agree.
In the fact that this idea of a community-based cube and
let's take away. If you take away the money-making aspect of it, it's still an interesting experiment. This cube, where the thing that we forgot to mention actually is that there's a point to breaking away the cube. It's not just like some kind of like OCD thing where we're just going to tap away a cube. There is a single piece of DLC of content. We don't know what it is. No one will know. There is a piece of content that is contained within the cube, and the point is that there will be one person who will get this content, and that is whoever is the last person to tap the cube. Whoever effectively breaks the cube, the last person to tap away at it gets the content. Which is unique. I mean, it could be. I mean, we joked that it could be Molyneux in his underwear. It's like a picture.
Yeah, a picture of Molyneux in his underwear.
Which
it's highly sought after.
I would. I'd be tempted to rethink the remortgaging part in order to get the diamond chisel if I thought I could get Molyneux in his underwear.
Quite frankly, I would trample over old women and children to get to a picture of Peter Molyneux in his underwear.
Yeah, that might be an idea. But
we both agree that the idea of the game is a good one.
Yeah, I think so.
But what we disagree on is... This is what annoys me, is the fact that he calls it an experiment.
But this is my argument, is I don't see what difference that makes.
But it's not an experiment.
If I turn around to you and said, I want to experiment on your testicles, would you say, and then if I went, actually I want to experiment on your testicles, but I want you to pay me, would it make any difference? I don't want anyone to experiment on my testicles. An experiment is an experiment, whether you call it that or not.
I'm struggling to see what point you're trying to make here. Apart from the fact that you're just trying to say the word testicles as many times in a podcast as possible.
Not at all. I'm just saying that you seem to get hung up on the fact that he's called this an experiment. I don't see the distinction between that. If this is an experiment or not. I'm
not saying it's wrong. I'm saying I'm annoyed at him calling it an experiment when nobody's ever done anything like this before, and it's
an experiment.
No, you can't have an experiment.
Just if you're listening to this, I want you to go now and look up online the definition of experiment. I think you'll find it's very close to trying something that someone hasn't done before.
Yeah, and then also have a look at how much the test subjects have to pay to be in an experiment. I think you'll find it's nothing.
I don't think that makes any difference.
If we're all test subjects in his weird experiment, why should one of us have to pay 36 odd grand to be part of it?
Because that's part of the experiment.
He does actually say in here, though, that he doesn't actually expect that bit of DLC to be sold.
Well, that's, I think that's a good expectation.
But,
there's...
it
depends what the content is. I think there's likely to be... I think there'll be someone who is rich enough and mad enough that will buy that.
But the person who has that sort of money is going to be... They're going to have everything that they want.
Well, exactly.
Because the means to spend that much money has to be offset by the result that you get for spending that money.
True.
Let's say, best case scenario, you buy that diamond chisel and you get the thing that's inside the block.
I want to meet the man who buys the diamond chisel and doesn't get it.
But it says here, just to give you a sort of idea, the cube is 60 million cubes put together. That's what it says here.
Okay.
And the diamond chisel will destroy 10,000 cubes. So it's not exactly like if you buy it, it's not a, you will win if you buy this. It's very likely that the person who buys this, if they buy it, is going to get nothing. How bad would you have to feel after that?
I think that's true. But again, I think if you can afford to buy that, I think you just go, that's fine, just throw another peasant on the fire, I'll keep myself warm. I don't think it makes any difference. I think the sort of person that would spend that sort of money on DLC, I don't think they know what money is. I think they just buy things, and Jeeves takes care of the bill.
You reckon?
I think so. There's bound to be someone.
It's a lot of money to ask, especially when gamers today, I mean, yeah, there's the odd one that has everything that they've ever wanted, but not all gamers have an unlimited money source to play around with.
True.
So when it comes to
But that's one thing I like about this, is that it takes one tap, to get this thing. You don't know, because it's all running at one thing. If you have a diamond pickaxe, in theory, I mean, I'm not a maths genius, but I would say that you have
don't sell yourself short, mate.
I just think that you have, I think odds-wise, you don't have much better odds at getting the content with the diamond chisel, because you don't know how many blocks have already gone. You could use that 100 times, and then there might be one block left over, and someone could just tap it, and they win.
There will be visual representation on screen as to how far the block has gone.
But I don't think. But even so, there's not going to be. It's not going to say you have 100,000 blocks left. No, that's the whole point.
It won't.
You'll see from what I understand from my reading of it, is that you will see the cube degrade, but there'll be no way of visually telling how degraded it is, because you'll see the original cube, and then when you tap it, it will degrade, and then eventually it will break. But I don't think there's going to be any visual representations to show you how close to breaking it will be. Yeah. That kind of defeats the object.
In regards to this thing in the middle, Peter said, what's in the middle of the cube is so valuable, so life-changingly important, that I don't want to waste it. In one sense, I want everyone to tap on it. In another, I want it to last long enough to get us enough data. So, it still may be a picture of him in his underwear.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, that's what I'm hoping for.